episode of 3 Vegas. I'm here with Tammie Roitman, our clinical hypnotherapist. I'm here with Kris Gray, our master astrologer, and me, Mona Van Joseph. I do intuitive tarot. And this program was brought to you to actually have a guest come on our show, ask a question, and then the three of us focus on the show. This is proudly brought to you by WWDBTV. And we have a YouTube channel, WWDBTV. So please subscribe for not only this program, but all the other wonderful programs that are here and featured on WWDBTV. And you got to say, John Stiles, our hero for allowing us to have this broadcast. All right. Now we're going to be back in just a minute with Heather.
Hi, I'm Kris Gray, the Astro Cowgirl. You may have seen me on 3 Vegas, the mystical series featuring three intuitives, Tammie Roitman, an intuitive hypnotherapist, myself, a master astrologer, and of course our host, Mystic Mona, a tarot consultant. Each of us taps into our own modality to bring you clarity and guidance. If you'd like to experience it for yourself, you can visit www.3.vegas to book a one-on-one session to connect with us individually, or even submit to be a guest on an upcoming episode. Again, that's www.three.vegas. You can also find me at vegasastrology.com, where I share insightful monthly forecasts. Thank you for joining us every week on WWDBTV.com for a new episode of 3 Vegas. And as always, a special thanks to John Stiles at WWDBTV for hosting our program. Many blessings, and I look forward to helping you unlock your cosmic potential.
Welcome back, and we have Heather as our guest today. Hi, Heather. Welcome to the program.
Hi, ladies. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Oh, we're just delighted that you're here. Okay, so the way the program is going to work is you're going to ask a question, all right? And then you're going to choose which one of us you want to have answer the question first. Then she's going to spend about 5 to 7 minutes with you. Then you're going to choose who answers the question second. And then by default, whoever the third person is left over is going to answer. But we always save the best for last, right? So whoever is the last person is going to address your question. So after we're all done individually focusing on you, then we're going to collaborate as a team. And it becomes very interactive at that point with the four of us. All right. Okay. So what is your question for us today?
Yeah, sure. So my question is about career path. I have an interesting mix of intuitive and also like business operational abilities and skills. And so I'll be moving back to Las Vegas in the next couple months. Woo-hoo. And I'm currently looking for a job and not quite sure which direction to focus my energy.
Got it. Okay. Who would you like to have answer the question first?
Maybe Mona, would you like to start?
Oh, I would love to start, especially since something jumped in my head as soon as you asked your question. So I'll get to that after I get your cards out. So I'm going to do a quick clear of the cards. And I'm going to concentrate on true place career for you. All right. So I'm just going to take a minute to concentrate. All right, so now I'm drawing your cards. So you are actually really good with high maintenance men, which is interesting because not only do you draw high maintenance men to you professionally, but you draw them to you personally. And the reason they are so drawn to you is because you present this very calming, very pragmatic energy. And what happens is that they get stuck in their little monkey mind, or they get stuck with a certain idea in their head. And you actually ask them a question that unsticks that thought process. So you get them off the carousel or the merry-go-round, and you say, well, wait a minute, here's the ticket to the merry-go-round. Have you thought about taking that ticket to another ride kind of vibe? All right. Because you are amazing at focusing people. So when you ask the question, I'm just going to tell you what jumped into my head. One of the things that you are really good at is that when you meet people for the first time, people like you when they meet you right away, because you present this grounded, confident, pragmatic energy when people meet you. As I'm looking at you on the screen, you present that energy. It's like you're easy to talk to. It's like I feel like I could tell you just about anything. So not only would you be great at giving lie detector tests to people, because not that you would, I'm just saying that you have that energy of, I'll accept anything that you're going to tell me. That's the vibe you present. So when you said that I want to go into a direction where my operational and my intuitive nature can be commingled, if we were to choose a regular job, human resources jumps to mind for me, for you, specifically recruiting for human resources at a company that you are very aware of the culture of the company, and you know what personalities, not just necessarily skill set, but the personalities that would be the good fit for that organization. Then what I see is over the next 5 years, if you go in this direction, is that because you would learn everything there would need to be about recruiting, then you might start your own either recruiting or staffing company. And that's where you go into the multi-million-dollar business idea. Because if you went into Heather's staffing, right? Heather's staffing, and it could be HSA, Heather's Staffing Association, right? Maybe that's the name of your company. But the biggest superpower you have is that when you can sit down with people and talk about a serious subject right away, and actually they open up to you. I mean, you're amazing like that. So when I say you deal with high maintenance men, it may be that the job you take on next is with a fella that's very moody, mercurial, changeable. You don't know where he's coming from on any given day. But the reason this man resonates to you is because you don't look at his little circus with all his monkeys in it like it's a personal thing that you have to deal with. You listen to what he has to say and you help solve the problem. Right in front of you, and May is your power month here, there is a door that's unlocked for you. All right. So instead of actually describing the actual technical job, I mean, the specific job, I'd actually like you to present the 5 things in your mind that would make that job a deal maker. So maybe the first thing is you like your boss. The second thing is a hybrid work environment where you only have to go in the office 2 or 3 days a week. The third thing would be the job that you would really like. The fourth thing would be the money. Now, I already know the money's going to be there. Whatever it is, the money will be there. But those 3 things first, liking your boss, hybrid work environment, and doing a job that you actually really think is going to resonate with your future career plans, then the money, all right? Because what it's saying is right in front of you is an unlocked door. So as soon as you start putting in the job description of those kind of features, it says you then turn around and find the job. I really do think that there's a man here, and this is not on your career subject, but there's a man that's slightly younger than you that you find yourself really drawn to. And it's because you take this job that you meet this man. So it's up to you if this relationship goes into something more than just a business relationship or a work husband kind of relationship. But there's something very special about this particular man. And then the card that's called experiencing is your conclusion card in this spread of cards. It means that I want you to pluck out the best of the last 3 years and in your job description. So in the last 3 years, whatever you've done, all right, even if you've done it once, if you liked it, you want to put that as a keyword for the kind of job you want to do next. Right. So I'm just going to give you an example. So there was a gal that was in operations with this financial institution, and she always wanted to do something that was a little bit more outgoing. Well, somebody called in sick for an on-site visit. And so she volunteered and went and did this on-site visit. Well, then it led her to understand that she really liked meeting people for the first time and telling them about the financial institution, and then actually created a role for herself where she became business development, where she did the trade shows, where she did the on-site, where she called the clients. So it tweaked from being a behind the scenes job to something where she was actually representing the company. Any job where you're representing the face of a company would be absolutely ideal for you. So I'm not even going to ask you what you've done before. All I want you to do is think about the 5 things in the job that you did before that you liked. But I'm really strongly getting that the fact you have the operational and the pragmatic side of business and also are incredibly intuitive, that leads me to recruiting for you, because then you would understand at a intuitive level if somebody was going to be a good fit for the job. So you're very good at that first 3-minute impression with people. You can look at someone and know right away if they're the real deal or full of crap as soon as you look at them. And that is a superpower. So that's my advice for you.
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right. Who would you like to have answer your question next?
Maybe Tammy. Is it
Okay,
Tammy?
Tammy.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to be in service to you. When I first saw you, I get like such a flowing child energy is what comes to me. That it's very simple, it's very basic, and you have a way to help people go back to the basics. In other words, don't complicate things so much. Bring it back to how we would have thought when we were like children. And I think you're super good at that. And that's why I think people look at your energy and it reminds them of what that freedom is to be like a child. And I think you're a rare person in being able to do that, because not many people are, especially when you want to talk about the universal source and what we're going to do. I really feel deep within myself, your job is to get people back in touch with that freedom of their child energy. But I also get the sense you don't play enough like that child, and that maybe to consider giving yourself permission to play like you're 5 years old again, because you're already in touch with that energy, but you'll be more in touch with it because you'll be able to live through it, which is the difference. Knowing it and living it, 2 way different things. But I really think that whatever you do, it's going to have something very much to do with getting people to recognize their child energy and go back to it, because it's not stressful, it's not challenging, it's very matter of fact, it's pure energy. And it's the remembrance that we create our life exactly as we want it to be. And I think you can present that where people don't put up their walls to want to back away from it, because your energy is so light and it's so flowing, and it's that child energy. You actually remind me of a friend that unfortunately passed away, Netta.
Netta, God.
But as soon as I saw you, I saw the same amazing energy that I know she had.
You're right.
And she was a lot like that. And I think it's just very rare to come across somebody that has the ability to just be in distance and get them to feel that child free, flowing energy and the simpleness of life that it was kind of always intended to be. And you don't even have to really tell them. Your energy just flows with theirs, and they already know it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does.
And do you have any questions? I mean, because that's what comes to me. And sometimes I can't give information that I get. So this information is open yourself up to be 5 years old again, because whoever convinced you to be an adult, well, they convinced you to make things more difficult.
It's true.
Okay, Kris, take it away.
Okay, so you're a sun Virgo, but your rising sign is Sagittarius. So did you know that your rising sign is Sagittarius? Okay, so you have a unique chart in the sense that you have a lot of Sagittarius energy. So your Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and there's so many placements in your chart that touches Jupiter. So that's a really big part of your chart. But you also have this. Before you even said intuitive, I already knew. Like it is all over your chart. You have in astrology, like there's certain placements that I see that indicate intuitive gifts, and you have quite a few of them. So, one, I will say that you were born spiritually elevated. You've probably had a higher vibration your entire life. And so your spiritual development is way beyond like just your years. People usually have to develop spiritually through experiences and challenges and tribulations. You were born already elevated, and so it accelerated your spiritual development. And so there's two gifts in particular. One I don't see in your chart, but I feel it really strong. And then the other is indicated because you are spiritually guided. You actually have a lot of spirit guides on the other side, and that you were meant in this lifetime. One of your purposes is to help navigate people through their spiritual journey. So I don't know if maybe intuitively, maybe you coach people or mentor people or something in that aspect where you actually guide them to their self-discovery, their self-purpose, their soul's purpose in this lifetime. Because you actually have these spirit guides that have helped you recognize that purpose for yourself. And then also there's a placement that talks about that you might have experienced loss of loved ones early in life. So that could be like grandparents, parents, or siblings, or just loved ones in general. And that actually, your loved ones are your spirit guides. Our loved ones, when they cross over, they're not always our spirit guides. But in your case, you have a mix of angelic spirit guides, but also loved ones that have already crossed over. Okay, so there's something I'm picking up really strongly with you, and it's do you have the like paranormal or mediumship gifts? Yeah. I feel it like really, really, really strongly from you. So you have, that's the one that I'm picking up. The other placement that you have is you have this natural intuition about people, and it's like not only about people but situations. So in business, you probably use that gift every single day, all day long, and you're able to make really good business decisions because you just have this natural insight. So I'm going to throw something out here that I'm picking up for you as a type of career. I have no idea what this could be because I don't know. I'm just receiving the information. I'm going to tell you how I'm receiving it. It's like a company that is in tech or innovations. It's connected to predictions and forecasts and analytics. You're the actual person who, because you're intuitive, you can make these predictions, but there's also a lot of analytics connected to it. And I feel like it's connected to potentially, it could be maybe like gambling or something like that, but it's connected to like predictions as a risk. Let me say that risk, kind of like you would forecast, you would use analytics to make a business decision, but it's not necessarily like it's not a guarantee. So it's more of like a kind of prediction based. And you being the person that's working for this company that's actually making the predictions, it's more than just analytical. Like you have a natural inclination for this. And this shows like I'm getting like big payouts. So I don't know if you would get like commissions off this or something, but does that resonate to you? And
100%.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. I keep feeling in that direction. And then I'm like, is my ego inflated, or like, am I really good at figuring out how to fix people's businesses? Because every like business related job I've had, I end up going into operations. I end up making suggestions. I sometimes like dance that line of maybe overstepping. And I've had a couple bosses who feel like a little, threatened by some of my ideas, and I've gotten some kickback from people, but it just comes in, and I know when I get something, it's just a matter of working with someone who's open to that and also feels and resonates when they hear the truth and a good idea,
Okay, so maybe your foot in the door is maybe I feel like you might maybe a different title, but the work environment allows you to really spread your wings. And because here's the thing, you know what you're capable of, but I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to really show other people, like to really get that credibility. And so I feel like that's coming. I'm going to say within the next 9 months, maybe even sooner than that, by the end of the year. And so, but leading up to that, I actually feel like you're going to come into a time with whatever job you have. Actually, maybe this next one is just a stepping stone, but there's going to be bonuses or commission or some kind of like payouts, more than just a salary. Okay. Or maybe it's even by contract, so you get paid by contract. But I feel like it's going to be for like a very innovative kind of analytical type based company. But that could be the one that comes in 9 months, actually. I'm going to say this, in the next 9 to 12 months, you are going to probably do some kind of specialized training. And I wouldn't be surprised within the next 18 months if you have a career where you're working as a fractional consultant in some capacity, like a business consultant. Companies hire you to come in and restructure, lean out, change leadership. But you got to get, there's some kind of training or something formalized that you have to go through that I feel like you'd be doing within the next, probably within the next year, you'll start it. It will be 9 months.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Go ahead, Tammy.
So I'll give you a little bit of the underneath of life. When you say, I have these ideas, they're flowing. I question myself. People are questioning me, which then is getting me to question myself. Those are the gifts that you've been given to stay solid on what's coming through you. And as the consciousness is waking up, people understand it a little bit more. But as it's been, they're a little threatened by it. Because at one level of themselves, it forces them, like I said, the child energy that you have draws them to the truth of themselves. So it's not something you try to do. It's like, I think people have said this about me, is I just represent the truth of somebody. And some people are very like intimidated because they don't want to see the truth. So look at it like that and don't ever question yourself. And definitely when we're not thinking and the information is coming, it is the truth, So, yeah.
So what I love about you being on the program is, when Tammy actually nailed it by saying that there's a very powerful childlike energy about you. It is that fascination of what will someone say next, and I'm going to be interested in what they say next. It's also the same energy that if you were to go to Denny's and sit there to have your super combo at the bar, the weirdest person in the whole restaurant would sit next to you. Because you have this powerful magnetic energy I'll trust you till I can't. I will, accept you until we're not supposed to be in each other's life anymore. But people remember you, and that is also an incredibly rare gift. That there's something about the presence of you and being present when you're talking to someone. That's probably why I got recruiting for you. Because people trust you almost immediately when they meet you. You see what I mean? So what line of work were you in that's now you're between successes? So what did you do before?
Yeah, so I worked as a massage therapist for, 12, 14, many years. So that's where the intuitive part like developed and came through, and yes, to mediumship and all of that, and a lot of ET stuff and different technologies and things like that. But then most recently, I was helping manage a psychiatry practice. So again, powerful man, high maintenance man, but like kind of, just a little bit of a doctor ego, and just kind of ultimately like couldn't.
Not a little. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to own my part in it.
It's not about being nice. It's like, it's the truth.
Yeah, it was a great lesson in like learning how to speak up. And, you know, I saw through his lack of understanding business operations that like actually my ideas are very valuable, and I did contribute a lot, which wasn't so much about helping him. It was more about helping the community have access to mental health.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's just, I think that you can find a job pretty quickly, and you'll be working by the end of May. All right.
I agree.
Again, and almost anything you apply for, you would probably get the job, specifically because if you have the chance to meet them over Zoom or in person, as soon as they feel the same energy that we're feeling, they're going to want you on board, almost to the point of even creating a position for you.
That's actually what I feel.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But a baby step might be for you to go into recruiting and human resources, just to get a feel for that. And then you go on beyond that, because if you have the understanding of how to restructure an organization, well, if part of your background is, I did recruiting for, I don't know, Station Casinos or Caesars Entertainment or whoever it was, then that goes as a piece of the pie of the whole picture that you bring. So if you worked as an operations person in a psychiatric or therapy kind of environment, then you did recruiting, but your background is massage and healing. Well, all of those combinations come together into somebody that can act as a catalyst for another human. So you start with that, and then it goes to a bigger thing where now you're a catalyst for a whole company, right? So I think that you've gotten some very valuable information today.
I want to add something.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know the gaming world, but is there some type of service or an aspect to the gaming world where they use human behavior to
you mean like testing?
Yeah.
Like a personality test?
No. Like
Briggs-Meyer?
No. Like let's say it's a slot machine or something. I don't know, something in the gaming industry where an aspect where they use human behavior predictions
to get them stuck on a machine,
something like that.
I work for the light. I don't want to make people broke, but I get what you're saying. That would be something I could probably do too. Yeah,
there's something that I'm picking up that's analytical, but it's also predictive behavior type. Like the business is kind of based upon. I'm not saying it's to get you addicted, but it's like. Maybe it's predictive marketing or something like that. Like it's working with predictive behavior. And when you said you worked for a psychiatrist, I was like, oh, that's like, right. It has to do with like behavior.
I
think those were the high maintenance men that she was working with.
Oh yeah, he's like, definitely a high maintenance man.
Being in mental health, it's like dual edge, right?
Yeah.
It's you see where some people want to help and some people want to make money. And there is predictive in it, because certain psychiatrists jump on certain diagnoses and certain medications. When I used to work in the school district and I was working specifically with psychiatric kids, I could tell you just by the diagnosis which psychiatrist they went to and which medications they were on.
Yeah.
So you can... psychiatry can be predictive like that.
And a lot of those people aren't seen or heard, and they're just like milled through. So to be there to be like, hi, how are you, Susan?
Right.
Like,
it's an illusion, isn't it? They're supposed to be there for help. It's just that it's all about mental health became all about money instead of helping people. That's why me personally, I went in the direction that I did, because it's actually helping. It's not pulling somebody outside of themselves to cover up the wound with a Band-Aid.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So something that I have wanted to say ever since you came on our program today is that because of the vibe that you have, and because there's such a magnetic energy that you have, I actually wonder if the learning curve might also be that you learn how to do on-site online trading with stocks, because I think that may be sort of your secret superpower to bring you a lot of money, which also would give you lots of choices for that fractional work that Kris mentioned earlier, that you get to be a little bit pickier and choosier about the work you take on because you're not worried about money.
I mean, that's predictive.
Right.
And
And intuitive.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, because it's her intuition, but there's also the analytics, but it's her intuition that actually predicts that.
I mean, I would it would not surprise me if you put, say, $5,000 in an online trading account and your goal was to double it in 3 months. I think you could double it in 3 months. I just, there will be something about that you find fun, and because it's fun, and because you're testing or acknowledging or aligning with your intuition about maybe what to buy next, and maybe you're just buying dollar stocks, or stocks that start at 25 cents each, and because you have a feeling that they're going to do something, and you do your little intuitive research, and that you find out that maybe that stock ends up tripling and splitting and doing all the things it does to make someone that did maybe a modest couple $100 investment into something that now they're not worried about money. So it's just, that's something else that could be part of your wheelhouse in your skill set. So
I want to add on to that. Yes, she has a transit. You have a transit going right now, and it just started, and it's going to be in your chart for like the next. I give it like 16 months. And it specifically indicates that if you were to go play the lottery, or, stocks, or actually any kind of like prediction type, what do you call that? Risk taking? I don't know. Gambling. Okay. You have the opportunity to, like, the likelihood is high that you would get really good payouts, and it could be from several different
and
sources.
as a disclaimer, we're not telling you to go take out a second mortgage.
No. Yeah, no. Don't go gamble your savings away. I'm just saying, if you were to have a hankering for,
if you were to test it out,
yeah,
you'd probably find that you would be good at
pretty lucky.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
a Keno ticket.
Yeah. Well, no, you mean a lottery ticket.
You gotta drive to California, get some tickets.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I should drive to California and get some tickets.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
Well, you're in Reno. You're not that far.
Yeah,
do y'all not have?
No, we don't get lottery here. So whenever I go to Reno, my task is to drive past Verde, go to the lottery office, the California state line, and buy lottery tickets. So usually I'm in Reno often enough that I'm buying enough lottery tickets for a quick pick for the next 10 draws. So we're in it to win it. I mean, modestly in it to win it, but we're in it. So yeah. Anyway, we love that you have been on our program today. Do you have any last question for us before we let you go?
No, thank you so much. That was very insightful. Thank all of you so much.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for being our guest. And please keep us updated to what happens with you, because we love to hear feedback of, especially when you get the job in May, because I get that very strongly for you. So,
good.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the program.
Much.
All right. All right, you guys. Here we are again, another wonderful episode here of 3 Vegas with Tammy and Kris and myself. I want to thank John at WWDBTV for making this happen. Also, make sure that you subscribe to WWDBTV over YouTube. Also, remember, you can read your monthly horoscope on WWW.VegasAstrology.com, penned by our Kris Gray here, our master astrologer. You can also get a hold of Tammy or Kris or myself anytime through the www.THRE.Vegas website. And also, that's a way for you to be invited to the program on the How to Be on 3 page. In the meantime, have a blessed and wonderful day, and we thank you for tuning in.
The cast members of 3 are not professional attorneys, CPAs, psychologists, marriage counselors, physicians, or financial advisors. You are provided with opinions that are unique to each of the intuitive performers. 3 is presented to you for your entertainment.